50 years ago, the U.S. evacuated South Vietnam at the end of the Vietnam War. Now the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum in Grand Rapids is marking that milestone. 13 on your side's Josh Alberta spent the week at the Ford Museum learning about what they're doing, and he joins us now with details.
Yeah, Juliet, I not only got to talk to the museum about their newest exhibit, but also to a really interesting speaker they had who's giving back to the country he feels saved his family.
First place I lived in the United States was inside a Marine Corps tent.
A half-century ago, France Huang and his family left behind the nation they knew.
I was 18 months old at the time. My father was a South Vietnamese Army officer. My mother worked for the U.S. Naval Attaché.
In April of 1975, Huang and his family were evacuated as the South Vietnamese capital of Saigon fell to the communist north. The conflict captured in a way never seen before.
The Vietnam War was called the Living Room War because it was the first war to really truly be captured on camera.
50 years later, the Museum of President Gerald Ford creating this exhibit.
Just an unprecedented number of photographs and videos were coming back to the American people.
Just as that photography resonated with the U.S., pictures taken by Ford's White House photographer, the museum's curator told us, resonated with its president.
But Ford really talks about how seeing those photographs from Kennerly had the same effect on Ford that all of the photographs of the war had on the American public, was that it really humanizes the war and emphasizes the human cost of this conflict.
While peace accords were signed in 1973,
those accords did not last.
It was the task of Ford, who assumed office a year later, to return the remaining American personnel and refugees who had helped the South, people like Huang and his family.
President Ford made some incredibly profound decisions that impacted hundreds of thousands of lives.
It was the rescue of his family, he said, that inspired what came next.
I felt I had an obligation to those men and women who served and sacrificed in Vietnam, and I wanted to serve them by serving the same military that saved me.
Serving later both in the White House and in the U.S. military, even helping Afghan allies escape the 2021 fall of Kabul, a time he described as
eerily reminiscent.
But the Living Room War, the war that America lost, eclipsed what Huang believes is another piece of the story.
The things that were positive that happened at the end of the war were kind of lost to time.
The good, like the military and decisions that rescued his family, and the generosity of the country that took him in. Lessons he feels remain today.
Wherever you are, whatever you do, whether you're the president of the United States or whether you're an individual in a small town in Michigan, you can make a difference with the choices you make.
Josh Albertus, 13 on your side.